Hi everybody, welcome to therapeutic, no, this isn't therapeutic yoga. Welcome to Foundations. It's a lot like therapeutic movement, but we work a little bit more along the lines of techniques for a regular yoga class, whereas therapeutic movement is all over the place. All right, so here we are, Walnut Lodge in Volant, and this is week 3. For today, if you have a strap, we might need it. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see how far that goes. It's always nice to have a block, or I'm sitting on a cushion. We're also going to use the couch today, so if you have a couch or a chair, that will also work. We'll get there more towards the end of the class. A couple announcements. One, tonight at 8 o'clock, Lori Saramuga is going to be doing a Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra, for those of you who don't know, is a meditation practice. Basically, you just get comfortable and lay there and listen as Lori will take you through a series of relaxation steps. It's a wonderful practice. So that will be tonight. It's not on the schedule. We're adding it just because of the situation that we're in. So if you like that, please let us know and we'll keep going with that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to us on this YouTube channel, please do. And if you can help us in any way monetarily, there's a PayPal button. But if you are sitting at home because you don't have a job, please don't think that you have to give us any money. We're doing this to keep the community going and to offer service to the larger community. I know a lot of people out there are financially hurting, and if you're in that category, then you need yoga more than anybody. So please just partake and consider it a gift from the Walnut Lodge. All right, so we're going to just start with some breathing today. There's been an interesting video going around on social media done by a doctor who works with, COVID-19 patients, and it's just really about getting the breathing mechanism working, keeping the chest open, understanding that laying down and not doing anything allows fluids to collect. So they did some deep breathing exercises, and on Monday night I'm going to do in my therapeutic movement class, I'm going to do a whole hour of breathing practices and positions. So it'll be a one-time thing, so, it'll be out there on YouTube. You can go back to it anytime. But today we're just going to start with a couple nice big breaths. And this is very similar to what the doctor did on that YouTube video. It is just a complete yogic breath with a little bit of a hold. So we're going to inhale, starting with our stomach. Take that up into the ribs and up into the collarbone. Take in as much air as you can and just hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And we do that again. Inhale, belly, ribs, collarbone, as much air as you can take in, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And again, big inhale, belly, ribs, collarbone, hold it in. Exhale. Inhale, belly, ribs, collarbone, hold. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last one, we're going to cough at the end. So inhale. normally. Now, if you're in public, please cover your mouth. There's no one here, except for James, he's way over there. So that cough is you using your abdominals and the breathing mechanism to force the air from the lower part of the lungs out. In your yoga practice, when you cats, cows, you're doing that. All the other pranayamas have a lot of stomach work. And so just the practice of yoga is really helpful for opening chest and practicing correct breathing. So I just wanted to just demonstrate that he's recommending you do 2 rounds of that and then lay on your stomach and back breathe for a while. So trying to open the ribs up as you're breathing. So just that's a note. But right now what we're going to do is another practice. So if you're in this class, you've already done Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is skull shining breath. It's an energizing breath, and it is a series of little exhales from very low in the stomach. So you're pushing the air from the bottom of the lungs, from the diaphragm, out. A lot of times when people are chest breathers, there's a really shallow breath here at the top, and they lift their shoulders. It's not a very good O2 exchange, because what's happening is you're just exchanging the air in the top half of the lungs. When you breathe from the diaphragm, then you pull the air all the way down to the bottom and you expel from the bottom. And that is one of the practices that we emphasize in a yoga class. So just by practicing yoga, you're pretty much on your way to doing what is good for your lungs in any kind of respiratory situation. All right, so Kapalabhati, just watch my belly. It looks like this. So I'm just using my abdominal wall to push the air out. So if I was laying down here and I just had my hand and I kept pushing my belly, that's what it would be. And you are exhaling. The inhale is passive. It'll happen automatically. So we're just going to do a couple rounds of this, and at the end we'll hold our breath and then exhale. So from your belly, it also helps to put your hands right here. So we're going to inhale, drop your chin slightly, and begin. Inhale, hold your breath, and exhale. Breathe normal. So this breath is on its way to being that cough. It's just not quite as forceful. And you're not really trying to make that shape at the top of the throat that gives you that kind of sound. You're just keeping your airways open. Some people will get lightheaded at first when they start this. We're only doing 30. So if you feel a little lightheaded, stop, lay down. You should be okay. This is a pretty minimal amount. It's a good starting amount. So we're going to do 2 more of those, 2 more rounds. All right, so from your belly, inhale and begin. Inhale, hold your breath, and release. Normal breath. The other thing that I'm sure you're noticing is that this is quite a bit of work. It's just concentrated in the small area of the lower stomach. So by the time you're done doing this, you have a very good relationship really with your lower stomach. And then we're going to take that into everything that we have done so far in this class. We've been working on this lower stomach lift. You're using the same musculature, and I'm just going to take this then into the other things that we're going to do today. So just kind of keep that in mind. Here's our last round. Inhale and begin. Inhale, hold your breath, and release. Breathe normal. All right, I'm sitting on a pillow. You can keep sitting on the pillow. I'm gonna come off of it and just stretch my legs forward. So we're just gonna do a little bit of stretch on our side body, just so that you can see how tight or how loose that is. It might be good, but we're gonna take that into other postures today. So I just want you to get a read on it. So take your left arm up, put your right hand down, anchor that left sit bone, and then just open the ribs. Try to keep the arm right by the ear, side bend, and then feel the breath happen in the side body. So try to push the breath out. We worked on this last week. Just feel that. Now if you twist slightly to the front, you're going to feel that breath from the lower part of your floating ribs to your hip crest, which is going to be a slight stretch of the quadratus muscle. And then come back side, and then just go up. This is just kind of a test. All right, come up and over, and other side. Go out. Not very far, just feel the stretch. Keep that right sit bone anchored. Feel the breath in the ribs. Couple big breaths here. Our diaphragm is anchored low. So it's really nice to get this whole side stretch to help with a nice release in the diaphragm. And then turn slightly forward and breathe and see if you can feel that line going down through the quadratus. And then twist back to side and come up. So just kind of keep awareness of that. My one side is a little tighter than the other. That's also a good thing to keep in mind. All right, so switching gears a little bit and coming over onto our stomachs. Arms in the Sphinx posture. So I'm going to just face you for part one and then turn. We tried 2 cameras, but it's really hard to make our second camera work. So we're here, our arms are parallel. Drop your head and shoulders. Just take a couple of big inhales into your upper back here. Let go of your belly if you can. Just let your body sag. And then inhale, push your spine up through your shoulders. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop it down. Couple more, own timing. Feel the change of the shoulder blades as you go through this movement. At the bottom, they're squashing together. As you inhale, they move to the side. So we're loosening up the connections of the shoulder blades into the upper back. We're working the strength aspect of the shoulder because we're really allowing mechanism to hold up part of the body weight. And then on this one, we're going to stay there. Inhale. Now, lift your butt up. Turning sideways. So, my butt is up. This is the wrong position. I'm going to take my tailbone, pull it in, and on my knees. My back is nice and flat. I'm pushing through my arms. I'm just going to try to breathe in my spine. Every time you inhale, try to feel your shoulders slide to the side and the spine go up and through. Your shoulders get tired, and of course your stomach gets tired. Couple more. Keep feeling that tailbone pulling towards your rib cage. One more breath. And release your pelvis. And then we're going to come all the way down. Turn your head to your favorite side profile. Let everything go. And then just feel that inhale in the upper back. Some people have trouble in these beginning classes feeling the breath in different parts of the body. One kind of easy way is if you have a pillow with any weight in it. This meditation cushion kind of works. If we were in the studio, I'd put a sandbag on you. If you have a little bit of weight, then you can direct your body up into that weight. And then when you exhale, the weight just helps you relax a bit. Couple more. I see these advertisements for weighted blankets now, and it's kind of the same. It's the same thing, really. The weight of the blanket, like the weight of this, allows you to relax a little bit more into the release of it, into the exhale, because the body's kind of squashed together, and then the connections can kind of release, because the joints are pushing into one another. They're not being stretched, they're actually being compressed, and then that allows some of that to release. All right, coming back to the center. So I just find that useful if you can't feel that breath in your back. All right, so we're going to repeat what we just did, and we're going to go on to part 2 if you want, which is the full plank. So I'm just going to add my legs. So we started working on the plank last week on the hands. This is plank in Sphinx. All right, so we're going to inhale, push the shoulders up through the blades. Then we're going to pick our butt up and then tuck under. So we have that. Feel that line lift. Tuck your toes and then straighten your legs. Push from your hands all the way back through the heels. Now, if this starts happening to you, put your knees down. You need to feel that tailbone pulling through so that we support that lumbar curve. All right, so just push through and breathe up into your back. Keep pushing. Inhale, push up. Exhale, pull your stomach. Inhale, push up. Exhale, pull. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, knees down, pelvis down. Take your arms back, turn your head to the other side, and breathe. Try to feel that breath travel through the spine from low to high, all the way. And then coming back to center. We're going to turn onto our right side. And we're going to stack ourselves like we did last week. So our elbow can be here or can be in line. Our chest, knee, ankle is in a straight line. First, I want you to release that shoulder and just feel this stretch through the little finger muscles on the side called the serratus, and it also gives you a shoulder blade stretch. So try to just breathe through that sideline. Pushing into that lower rib cage. Now, maybe you don't feel anything here. Maybe that muscle isn't sore on you. But like for a lot of people, the whole sideline is kind of clogged up. So pull your shoulder blade down, go to position number 2. So now our shoulder blade is engaged. We spent a lot of time last week really working on understanding where our shoulder blades are. So for some of us, we don't feel any stretch here. What we're going for is a stretch from our right hip all the way up into our armpit. So now what I want you to do is come up. You can come halfway up. Just sneak yourself up. And then don't let your hips roll back. You have to stay stacked. So you're parallel through the legs. Push up. Don't let this, actually you can let this happen. Feel that. And then push. Now again, breathe through your waist, breathe through your ribs. So this is the same stretch that we did sitting. It's way more intense. Just want to keep going through that sideline. Big inhales into the chest, opening the little muscles between the ribs and that quadratus muscle. Going from the lower rib to the hip crest, you'll get a little bit of stomach in there also. Keep pushing down. And release. Slide down, couple breaths. And then roll to your left side. Stack yourself on your elbow first. Now release your shoulder. Kind of sag there. Sagging is good sometimes. You can just feel the connections into your back, into the ribs. Just let it go. There's not a lot of weight on this. All right, now push your shoulder. Keep your head on your neck. Don't let it collapse here. Just nice and long. You can, feel the line of the spine. It's not a big curve, but we're side bending. All right, then come up higher if you can. Don't let the hips roll back. Stay side. One side might be tighter than the other. That's my case. Let the shoulder go. Couple breaths here with it released. So that gives you a stretch here. When the shoulder goes down, it shifts the stretch to lower. Breathe into that low part of your waist. Quadratus can give you trouble because one side can be contracted, and the other side cannot be. So it messes with the level of your hip, and that can also affect your leg length, not your actual leg length, but the functional leg length. So keep pushing down through your shoulder. Keep breathing. And then just imagine the ribs. They're going to open like a fan here. On the inhale, try to feel them open as you push that breath into the side rib. Couple more. And then slide yourself out. Just lay there a couple of breaths. Sometimes you have no idea where the stretch is going to affect you. That's what's so good about a yoga practice. You get here on your mat. you work through different positions, right and left, and you take stock of your condition. And if you do that on a regular basis, you can stop a lot of chronic things, overuse things from happening. All right, so we're going to go back to the right side, and now we're going to work this into a side plank on our elbow. So now instead of stretching this sideline, we're going to work the lower side. And we're going to do it in 2 stages, and just like the plank that we did from Sphinx. Now you can have your hand forward or out. This I think is a little easier. So my hips are down. I like this one better. So I'm going to put, so relax the shoulder and then push it down. So you feel that blade connected all the way through. Now my knees are bent. I'm going to pick my hips up, and I'm going to balance on the outside of my right knee. Push the shoulder down. So now you feel that hip into the ribs working. Now don't let the shoulder go. Keep pushing long. So for most of us, what's going to happen is that shoulder is going to get tired first. Because, you know, we usually have enough strength here to hold this position through the waist. So you want to make a nice straight line. That right side is working. Shoulder blade is pressing down. Keep breathing. And then as you're up here, you can feel how to make this a little higher. You don't really want to go much higher than vertical. Couple more. Push through that arm. And come down. And we're going to slide out the same way. Put your head on your upper arm and just relax that shoulder. So for those of you that have a tight line and can't get your arm right beside your ear, this release position after all that work can be really helpful to lengthen that armpit line. It's really your lat mainly. Now, if you let your knees bend, now take your head and rotate it towards the floor so that your head is on the floor in front of your arm. Now, for those of you that have that tight line, you're going to feel a stretch in your shoulder. Then bend your arm. Bend at the elbow, and then try to touch your left shoulder. So this is kind of like the cow's head stretch for the arm. And for some of us, this isn't a big stretch, but for others, this is a really nice way to start that stretch, because you're laying on this arm, and so the position is not going to change. That's where you start, and then you kind of relax into this position with your head and your lower arm. Just a couple more breaths. Now when you're breathing, just notice the side ribs that you're laying on. You know, if your shoulder girdle is really clamped down tight, it restricts your breathing. All right. Now we're going to come up, do that one more time. This time, if you want, you can go to the full plank. So that is going to be picking up your hips and balancing on, get it better, the outside edge of your foot and your elbow. So one nice way to do this is to just cross this top leg here, push up so that you're here making this 4 position. Make sure that lower quad, that right quad is tight, and then take your leg away and just be here. So breathe. So it's a lot more work. How do you know if this is a good place for you? You should be able to talk or breathe without panicking, pushing up and through that shoulder. One more. And hips down, bend the knees, and again, slide out. And this time we're just gonna rock. So, down here, let this hand just rock you back and forth on that shoulder. It should feel good. A couple more. And let that go. Other side. What's kind of nice though, you can come to sitting, you can see how much lower my right shoulder is than my left. So we've worked this whole right side, and we've changed the proprioception, we've changed some of the tension patterns through the shoulder. All right, other side. All right, so hand rotated out, release the shoulder, and then push. Keep that, bend your knees. Make sure you're stacked, and push up. Actually, my elbow should be in just a little bit more. All right, so we're holding. Shoulder blades down. Sometimes I do shrugs here, but I do those in the more advanced classes. But sometimes if you don't know if your shoulder blade is down, then just let it go a bit and push back up. You should feel the blade going down into the waist. If you start releasing your blade, you'll see your chest collapse. So keep that blade working, keep the hips up. Don't let your sit bones go back. You're just in a straight line. Couple more breaths. And hip down. Slide the arm out long. Just stay here a couple of breaths. Feel that armpit. It's open flat on the ground. Bend the knees. And you're going to take your head and put it on the floor. Let it fall off of your arm. And then bend your elbow, take your hand, and touch your shoulder. And now just relax on the inside of that left or that lower shoulder joint. Actively breathe into your ribs there. So as you inhale, push your side ribs into the mat. And release that. Come on back up. So either repeat what we just did, or you can go to the full plank. So we'll start with our legs in this number 4. Feel that nice straight line. Now, the other thing, I didn't say this on the other side, but you know, I said don't let your hips drop back, but make sure that your tailbone is reaching through and coming around to the front. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that we do in all the positions. It just allows the engagement of that lower body so that you can keep the alignment of the back. All right, so push up off of your foot and then slide that leg and lift. Breathe. Couple more. slowly hip down, slide out, and then this time just let your torso just rock and roll. Just let it go. It's almost like this right hand belongs to somebody else, and you're just rolling it back and forth. It just feels really good. All right. Bend the knees and come up. And shoulders are even. Good. Okay, so get a pillow or a block. I'm going to use my block. Pillow is just as good though. We're going to take that block and it's going to hit me. Here's my waist, floating ribs. Right here at the floating ribs. So that when I lay on it, the bottom edge of my shoulder blade is going to be on it. So if I was laying on this, I just put this underneath my back so that my head can touch the ground. So if you don't like your head here, then throw something else underneath it so that your neck isn't extended. What we want is the ribs extended. So just a couple big breaths here. So take your hands, stretch them up to the ceiling, interlace them, and then pull them back behind you. Now on the inhales, push your ribs up to the ceiling and push out your hands. And then relax. Your hands might go to the floor, maybe not. Don't worry about it. Just inhale, push out. Exhale. Couple more big breaths. And then slide your hands underneath your head. All right, now you can't really see. There you go, you can see here. When I'm on my block here, there's a space between my body and the floor. It's not a big space. Now you can see a little bit more of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a series of basic stomach work, where we're going to take our pubic bone, pull it up to the rib cage, and feel that lower back, feel the sacrum pull towards the floor. And that's the action. And I call this anchoring. And I'm using this pillow here so I can talk a little bit better. But what I want you to think about here is it's the same thing we've been doing. Take the tailbone, reach your tailbone towards your feet. All this changes, release into that. So a couple of these. Inhale. Exhale, take your tailbone, reach it towards your feet, feel your sacrum go towards the floor, trying to touch the floor. It doesn't matter if you touch the floor or not, but you need to feel that low back lengthen and this line short. Just a couple more of those. Feeling that lower stomach. And again, this position, this change of the sit bones, we use this all the time. Standing, laying on your knees. All right. So, hands are behind your skull. This is going to look kind of like a crunch. You're going to inhale, exhale, anchor, tailbone to your feet, pull your elbows in, pull your chin, and we're just going to feel the ribs, try to pull through the tailbone. So if we could, we take that tailbone and we attach them to the ribs, and then we're going to open up. Exhale, anchor, elbow, chin, rib cage, pull, inhale, let the ribs open. Exhale, anchor, elbow, chin, rib cage, pull, inhale, open. Exhale, anchor, elbow, chin, rib cage, pull, inhale, open. Couple more. Exhale, anchor, elbow, chin, rib cage, pull, inhale. Last one. Exhale, anchor, elbow, chin, rib cage. Now stay here. Now, when you breathe, see if you can push your breath right where your body is hitting the block or a pillow, whatever you're laying on. So inhale, back and into that space. And it'll make you curl up a little bit more, but we're really just trying to see if we can push our breath back and open those ribs. So when the corona doctor was talking about the back breathing, if you can't feel back breathing, try this. Just breathe where you feel the pressure. Couple more. It's a sneaky way to do stomach work. Just pretending you're doing breathing work. Just one more. Inhale and release. Let it go. A couple breaths here. Let the ribs go up. And then we're going to roll off of the block or the pillow. And we're going to come onto our stomach. And we're just going to lay there. Either here or here. All right, come back to center. So we've worked both sides and we've worked the front. We've opened the chest. We've used the block to engage stomach. We engage stomach here in the planks. We've worked those lines. Now we're going to just do one more for the back. And this is fun. I think it's fun. We're going to use your couch. And, well, it could be the couch or it could be a chair. It could be anything that you can put your feet under. If you don't have a couch or a chair and you have a kid or another person in your house, you can ask them to hold your feet down. But most of us are in a place where we have something like this. All right, so I'm just gonna turn this so you can see my couch. All right. So it's pretty simple. There's my couch. I'm gonna put my feet under that. And people do this at the gym. So you can't really see my head. I'm going to change this position. I'm going to change this position one more time. Alright, you can still kind of see the couch. And kind of see. I don't know if it's that important to see my head. Alright, so why would we want to do this? Well, today I wanted to work front line, side line, back line. Now, we don't want to just do this, we're just going to use this to hold our backs. We don't want to just come up and jam into our back here. What we're going to try to do is incorporate this tailbone stomach lift into this back extension. So we're not going to go very high. You want to feel the work here where the hamstring meets the glutes. And we're not going to think about going up. We're going to think about going forward with our chest. So we're going to start here. You're going to engage sit bones, pull your stomach, and then we're just going to push our chest forward. So you feel this nice long line. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to come up and kink into my back. I'm just going to stay as long as I can. So we're just going to do a couple of these. No arms, just hands back here. So essentially what we're doing is we're doing an assisted cobra. The thing about cobra is that if you don't have your tailbone driving down into the backs of your legs, your feet come up. So let's just do that. Press your feet, drive your sit bones, lift your stomach, and push your chest forward. Now, your feet are under there, so you're going to be able to engage this a little bit more. And all we're going to do here is just hold and breathe. You're going to keep this long. If you feel anything in your back, come back down and reposition your tailbone. Keep squeezing your glutes. Don't worry about your chest coming up very high. It doesn't have to. Couple more. And not once did I do that. Last one. And release. This time we're going to press up and back to an extended child. Breathe. And then come up to sitting. All right, two more things. We're going to take advantage of this nice warm torso. All right, to get just a little bit more arm stretch. I'm going to go back to my couch view. So, two things. So, what this is really stretching through the shoulder line. This first one will be more lat and chest, and the second one will be a lot of chest. So you can use anything. You're gonna put your arms like this, hold on to your elbows, and then we're gonna put our elbows on a couch, and then head on the couch. And then, if you can, head drop off the couch. If you can't drop your head off the couch, no big deal. Just put your forehead here, and we're going to inhale into our chest and exhale, drop the chest forward. A couple big inhales, letting yourself drop down through your armpits. And then on this next one, we're just going to stay here and breathe. So head here or here. This is actually a little more comfortable. My forehead is just on the edge of the couch. I'm getting a little bit of a neck extension, but it's okay. Keep reaching through the armpits. And then pull up, walk your knees in, and just come to sitting. Now, if that was really intense for you, and you can make that really intense, it's really a great stretch. It's better to do little bits of it. 3 or 4 breaths come up, 3 or 4 breaths come up. You have to be able to relax into it. You have to be able to keep your mind with it, because if all you're doing is resisting, it's not going to do any good. All right, now we're going to do the exact opposite. So I'm going to interlace my fingers behind my back. I'm just going to put them on my couch. What's nice about this is you can slide them back. You can see the front of my shoulder and chest stretch. Now, if you can't interlace your fingers, then just take your strap. Do what you can do. Maybe it's 6 inches, maybe it's a foot. Actually, what's good is to twist it so that you don't have to worry about holding it. Slide it back. Drop your chin. Now, if you can't sit on your feet like this, just sit on the floor. And every time you exhale, just let your chest reach a little bit more forward. So either here or here. Actually, this is more comfortable. Just breathe, drop your head, let the front of those shoulders go. Just come forward. Since we're here, interlace your fingers, put them right behind your head, and then just lay back. Breathing those ribs up to the ceiling. Just make sure that as you breathe, you push your ribs up. Feel your back muscles engage. You're laying on them, you can feel them. And then let go. gonna let yourself come up, pull your elbows in, drop your chin, and then just stretch your neck just a little. Feel the jaw push up into your throat on the inhales. Feel the nose come down on the exhales. Release that. I'm going to come up to sitting. All right. I'm going to sit on my cushion. On my little tuffet. I think that's what this is. It's a tuffet. All right. So, let your sit bones kind of come to the edge so that your pelvis goes into an anterior tilt, chest lift. You can feel it, I can feel it, my chest is way more open. We're going to add just a side stretch for the neck so that we kind of finish off this whole thing. So middle finger of your right hand in your left ear. Just pull your ear towards your shoulder. And then feel the line from your neck to your waist. Again, your jaw is going up and into from the right side to the left side, up and into so the right side of the jaw is going up and into the left side of the jaw. And then on the exhale, just let the ear go a little bit more. And then from here, rotate your nose so that it's pointing towards that right thigh. Reach your hand back around, grab the back of your skull, and then just pull on this line. Press that left shoulder blade down. Feel the connection between the left side of your skull and your left shoulder blade. And you might feel that all the way into the back of your left eyeball. Release, roll yourself up, come front with your face, left arm up and over into that right ear, and side bend. Feel the left side of your jaw push up into the right side of your jaw. Left ear down, breathe, shoulder stays down. Rotate your nose to that left thigh. Grab the back of your skull and pull down. Right shoulder presses. So the line is from the inside top corner of your right shoulder blade to the back of the right skull. And then you might feel that go behind your eye on the right side. And release. Roll yourself up. Take your face back to the front. So we're just going to sit up nice and tall, hands on our thighs, drop your chin. And we're just going to end with a big breath up the front of the body and down the back of the body. Just a couple of those. Try to feel the 3 parts of the breath: belly, ribs, collarbone. Exhale. Feel the exterior of the body relax as that center line channel, as the spine continues to go from the sit bones and the pillow all the way up through the skull. So the center line keeps pushing up, rising with that inhale, and it stays there as you exhale and just release the musculature around it. And slowly lift the head. The sun came out. Palms together. I hope you enjoyed this. Namaste.